We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2152. Today, Jill and I are talking about the hidden costs of land investing and how to avoid them. What I'll do after we talk about the question here is I'll list the costs.
Good, because I have a lot of questions.
All published, and I'm a cost. Look,
Did you make a list?
I'm not one to pat myself on the back about anything ever, but cost is my middle name, personally and professionally.
Don't I know it?
I'll explain what.
Nobody knows better about auditing than me living under the same roof.
This is one big financial audit. Jill lives in a financial audit.
I do.
I don't mean a tax audit.
No.
I just mean, do we really need to buy a new salt?
I'm held accountable. Oh, weekly, monthly. Oh, you better believe it. Yep.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
All right, so Ben wrote, do you guys have a general net profit percentage you work off of total revenue once you have everything up and running? For example, if you have a gross revenue of $100,000, presumably about $50,000 would be purchase costs, plus your data and mailer costs, closing costs, etc. I'm thinking the actual net profit before taxes is around 30-35% of the total gross revenue. Is that accurate to your experience? Trying to get our first, second, and third year goals set and this would really help in establishing where we need to be to quit the day jobs and go full time.
So
smart.
The fact, Ben, that you're doing this right now, you are ahead of 95% of the universe.
Yeah.
You're putting a budget together. The budget will be your goals. You're going to give yourself enough wiggle room to change or adjust as you go throughout time. And I will tell you right now, in your second and third year, you will achieve what you're attempting to achieve within reason. So that's that old trick, write it down and it'll happen. Before I met Jill, I thought that was silly. I thought it was some kind of myth. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right into the topic and answer your question. Today's topic, the hidden costs of land investing and how to avoid them. You buy a piece of property for $50,000 and you sell it for $100,000. It's a regular run-of-the-mill Land Academy deal. At the top line of your income statement, you have $100,000. And right below it, you have the cost of what you sold at $50,000. So now you have a gross margin of $50,000. From this point, you categorize your expenses into one of two categories, fixed or variable. A fixed cost would be, this is my rent. I have office rent. I hope you don't in your beginning of your career, but office rent's fixed. It doesn't matter how many deals you do, your rent is X. It's fixed cost. Second cost is, let's say, your salary, if you choose to give yourself one. And so let's say it's $3,000 or $4,000 a month just to get by. And this does not change no matter how many deals you do. You could do 50 deals, you could do one deal, you could do 0 deals. You have fixed costs. Some people refer to this as overhead. I hate that. Overhead is a manufacturing term left over from the 1920s. Variable costs, mail and education and things like that. They're adjusted based on whether or not you buy real estate deals. A serious variable cost is escrow or real estate agent fees. You don't incur those in any way unless you do a deal. The more deals you do, the more fees you incur. So here's the key to all of this. You want to make sure you have almost all variable costs and no fixed costs. You will always be successful. If we decide to go on summer vacation, I don't do a mailer, Jill doesn't answer the phone. There's no expense. We're drawing from money that we made in the past. So you want to make sure you have as many variable costs associated with business versus fixed costs. I didn't get into this business on accident. I didn't wake up one day and somebody said, we're going to do this. I looked at fixed costs and variable cost businesses and realized I'm only going to ever make $1 or incur the expense of making that dollar if I do a deal. The exact opposite of a business example is a manufacturing facility. You go and buy a building, or you lease a building, or you rent a building, tons of outflow from a cash standpoint. You put machines in there, you put a sales staff in, you buy raw materials, and they haven't made any money yet. Not $1 has come in yet. 2 years down the road, you're ready. You've satisfied yourself that you can make a good product and you're going to release it out in the marketplace. The chances of you failing at that, just because of the structure, not because you know about manufacturing or do or don't, that has nothing to do with it. Just from a financial structure standpoint, you are set up to fail.
Scary.
Before you ever sit down at your desk to buy and sell a piece of land, this business, I've set it up for you to succeed. Your cash out from the beginning is your cost of education and the mail. From there, you have no other costs, including that $50,000 that I talked about in the beginning of his example, because you have a financial partner like us.
Yeah. You don't have to lay out your own money if you don't want to. I agree.
So what are the hidden costs? Because this is the topic. What are some of the hidden costs that come up like in our lives that come up with this business? Exactly. There are.
I'm thinking.
There aren't. It was a trick question. There aren't any. If there are, don't incur them.
Yeah.
Crazy costs come up like legal fees when we have to look into something, when a title agent, but this is so far
it's all related to a deal. Anything is related to a deal, and I bake it in. That's the bottom line. And I was talking about this the other day with somebody. I bake in, I'm doing deals big enough that I want to bring an agent in. I don't want to do the work. I'm making it easier on myself. And I bake it in. I make sure I'm still going to double my money because I'm buying it for $50 and selling it for $150. So by the time I have all those other costs, I'm still going to make 50%.
You have no fixed costs.
Really. Yeah.
Then you have complete control over your company. Mm-hmm. What you want to do is send out as much mail as possible.
Yeah.
Then the pipeline gets jammed up, and you are in a position where you're deciding, you're on the phone, making sure that the people who are going to fund your deals are there and available and they're for real, which we've done. God, I bet 50% of the deals that go on in Land Academy are funded by other people, including us. Mm-hmm. That's it. You're moving stuff around. You're on the phone making a deal.
That's it.
The only hidden cost that you may occur and eventually will incur, you do not want to do this in your first year, is you bought a piece of property and and everybody's afraid of this, including us, even this point in our career, where we kind of missed something. And Jill's answer for that is buy a $150,000 piece of property for $25,000. Mm-hmm. 19 things can go wrong and you're still going to get out of it okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Join us tomorrow where Jill and I are going to talk about what's the catch to the Land Academy education programs. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.